Joseph YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
How this woman's want and need for attention and validation online, TikTok in specific, ruined her chances to lock down a good man. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
All right, here is the story time of how my Hinge date went 4 days ago. So the last thing that I updated my TikTok on is I went on this really good date with this guy. I was super hopeful that we would have a second date. I ended up getting home and he said he had a really great time. I had a really great time. And he asked me if I wanted to go on a second date, and I did. So the night ended off with him saying he wanted a second date, and I suggested this weekend because we both mentioned that we weren't doing anything that weekend.
Right.
And then I went to sleep. The next morning I get to work and I hadn't heard from him, which is fine. Like, I'm busy in the morning. He has a job. It's okay. He said he was going into the office that day. Around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I get a message from him and I'm super excited until I open it. Open up the
Okay.
message and it says verbatim, "Hey, so I found your TikTok and I don't think I can date someone who has that many followers.
Here we go.
It was nice to meet you," or "it was great to meet you," something like that. So I responded back and I said, "Hey, it was really great to meet you too. No worries." Or I said, "No worries, it was great to meet you too." And I just left it at that. He didn't text me back. I didn't follow up. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. So I think I was more confused than I was disappointed. I mean, I was disappointed because he seemed like a really nice guy. We're on our dinner date. I mentioned to him, like, yeah, I like to do social media, like I have
First off, how is he not nice? Oh, well, maybe she's saying she doesn't really know him yet. Okay. Keep listening.
a TikTok and I'm trying to start up a YouTube and, you know, maybe get my Instagram going. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's really cool." Like, seemed genuinely interested in it. And he was like, "You know, what kind of content do you make?" And I was like, "Well, on YouTube, I have Disney vlogs." And he like made a joke. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to try to find your YouTube." And I was like, "Oh my God, please don't." And then I was like, on TikTok, you know, I just make lifestyle videos. So like makeup, vlogs. Whenever I go to Disney, I said I do like date videos, like I get ready to go on dates. And he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, but I'm like not showing people's faces and like giving out their personal information. It's mostly just me getting ready."
Pretty typical stuff.
And he seemed genuinely interested and thought it was cool. So I was like, "Oh my God, yay." I mean, I personally don't think I have that many followers that would warrant someone not to want to like date me or talk to me. But again, I'm not mad. Like, that's what he believes in, and I guess that's okay. But I also just think, I don't know. I guess argument could be said like I never should have told him I made TikToks, but
He would have eventually found out, though.
do make TikToks. And I could have just withheld that information, but I'm a very truthful person. Why would I lie? It's not like that's not like a serious thing. I make content about other stuff besides my dates. Albeit my date videos do like get a lot of attention, but that's just my life. I'm just posting
There's a lot of coloring and drawing going on the face. I'm trying to focus on the story.
about my life. Um, and there have been guys before who have found my TikToks and they thought it was really cool. He's the first person that I think I've met that doesn't think it's cool. And when I told him about it, I guess maybe he didn't think I had that many followers. So yeah, that's how it went. I was kind of disappointed, but at the end of the day, I guess that's just not my person. Do I not tell people that I do TikToks? So like in my head, I equate telling people like, "Oh, I make like fun TikToks," like the same way as I say, "Oh, I really like to read." It's just a hobby. I think it's 2024. Once you give someone your number, it's only a matter of time before they find your TikTok.
Let me say this. This reminds me, it's just like eerily similar to another video that went really viral of a woman who was dating a guy who went on a couple of dates with her, and then he ghosted her after finding out that she had a TikTok. I don't know why women don't realize it. Men don't want women who go online and talk about their relationships. It's already a red flag if you're too involved in social media, especially for women out here, because they're just so quick to look for sympathy from random people online. It's one thing for you to get online and not talk about your own personal stuff and just talk about other people's shit like I do, you know, be more like me. It's another thing to put your own personal opinions, share about your own personal experiences, relationships out there. And a lot of guys just don't want women who are too involved in social media. A step further from that, you're out here sharing your own personal relationship issues and asking for people's advice. It just gets weird. And this is not me telling people what to do. There's just the consequence of a lot of guys are going to view that as a red flag. They're going to view that as a red flag. I mean, there are ways to talk about issues of relationships and dating without getting too personal about your own experiences. Now, I do understand there are people out here who want to talk about their own personal dating lives. Cool. It's okay. You can do that. But you're going to turn a lot of men away, especially when they find out you're on TikTok giving details about your date and the person you, because if it doesn't work out, what have we seen? Men get exposed. People are calling your job potentially. You get caught doing something crazy or something gets leaked. No one wants to be a public mockery. And men do take these things into consideration. I am not surprised.
And ideally, my future partner in life will be super supportive of my social media or whatever I decide to do. So at the end of the day, this guy, he just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, that's my story time. Makeup's done. All we need is a lip. And I got this PR package from e.l.f. So we're going to use one of their like new lip oils. This is the Red Delicious color. So these feel so good. Like I've already bought most of these because they just feel so good. Now, to be honest, they don't really feel like lip oils.
Okay, that's it. Listen, I think we're watching in real time a chick who's probably going to regret prioritizing sharing her own personal dating experience for attention and growing her personal brand instead of focusing on what she truly wants, which is a relationship. Because if she looks back, she will most likely regret deciding to pursue this instead of locking down the type of man who she plans to spend the rest of her life with. Believe it or not, these chicks want to get married. Let's check out some of these comments with the people have to say. First comment here says, you know he refreshing your page, just waiting to see you update about him. Well, now he doesn't have to. He can come over here on the coffee pot.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
She responds back and says, laughing emojis, I hope not. Somebody else here, a woman says, I think it's understandable. People are scared of becoming content for someone, even if it's not likely, and that's fair. On to the next. Here's somebody else who says, that's the thing with posting your personal business as a content creator, but the right man won't have an issue with it. Again, this feeds into that narrative that like there's some body for everybody, and really there's a limited amount of men out here, mathematically speaking. Not all of you can have that man because other women want the man, especially if you want that man, and you've got to make yourself as compatible with him as possible. And some of you might have to give up the social media and the 304 behavior. Another comment here says he probably had a girlfriend or something else, didn't want to risk being seen. I don't know. Somebody else here says, his loss by Roku. Somebody else here added, he just used that as an excuse for a way out. Thank you. Next, that boy, peace. Here's another comment that says, I agree with him. If I found this info, I would stop talking to that person. Somebody else here says that wasn't his loss because some people actually prioritize privacy, unlike some of you in the comments, and that's the problem with people. Here's somebody else who says he seemed genuinely interested in what you do until he found out you were successful at it. Oh yeah, that's it. Here's somebody else, a woman who says he didn't want you to be putting the information in your page about him. I can respect that. I like your content. I like your page and content. Somebody else here says, take that rejection as God's protection and direction. Really? With a sad face, you find the one, mama. He's out there. Somebody else here says, wow, his loss. Honestly, on to the next girl. And our final comment here says, girl, withhold that information until you're serious with them. She's like, trap him. Listen, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Would you be turned away if you found out a chick made these type of videos where she went and reviewed dating? And there's also this like watching videos of her sharing not only dating experiences, but these chicks will share experiences of them getting their cheeks clapped to millions and millions of people. And you're over there like, oh, right. They'll literally share it and be like, yeah, I'm just been vulnerable and I just want to be open with everybody. He came through, he beat it down so viciously and senselessly. Guys, listen, I'm curious to know what you think. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.